Well, how about this? What happens if, I have a house, I own a home, and I still want to file a Chapter 7 bankruptcy? Am I going to be able to do it?
It depends. The state of Illinois allows you to keep a certain amount of equity or ownership in property free and clear from creditors.
Okay, well, hang on. Let's back up for 1 second. I'm a little bit confused here, right? And that is, if you're talking about the state of Illinois, I thought bankruptcy was federal.
Bankruptcy is federal, but the amount of property that you're allowed to keep in this state is concerning Illinois law. So Illinois law actually kind of sneaks in there just in terms of how much property you can keep.
So it varies from state to state then?
That's correct.
So if Illinois has X amount of dollars, I could go to another state if I live there and they might have some more?
You could go to another state, but you have to establish residency there. For example, if you wanted to move to either Florida or Texas, and you can wait out 3.3 years, you can protect every single bit of equity in real estate. But you must cross that 3.3-year threshold. But we're talking about Illinois here, and the laws are not that lenient in Illinois. For example, a person in your situation, if you lived by yourself, would be able to protect up to $15,000 of equity in your house. That's not a lot.
That's just for one person.
One person.
If I was married, so
that would be $30,000.
Okay, and so on. If there were, if it was joint tenancy with 4 people,
well, you'd still get your exemption of $15,000, but then the court would have to give up the additional equity, pro rata share to the other owners. So you'd be in good shape under that situation unless there was a significant amount of equity.
What if I had a little bit extra in my equity? So it's $15,000 for one person, and I have maybe $20,000. Are they going to sell my home?
Probably not. And the reason being is that a trustee who's appointed by the bankruptcy court would look to see what kind of equity there was. They'd have to take into consideration what it would take to sell that property. You've got real estate taxes, you've got broker's commissions, you have to pay your exemption of $15,000 or $30,000 if it's joint, and then if there's not a whole lot left to administer to your unsecured creditors, the trustee's not going to find it worth his time or worth the creditor's time to administer that asset.
Okay, very good. Well, so what you're saying is, or what I'm hearing is, I can do a Chapter 7 if I have a house, but if I'm under that threshold with respect to my income and with respect to the amount of equity I might have in my home. Is that correct?
That's right.
Okay.
There's a kind of a simple rule of thumb here. If you have a lot of equity in property, whether it be in your house, whether you have an expensive vehicle that's paid for, whether you have significant money in the bank and you're just not paying your creditors, Chapter 7 is not likely going to be successful for you.